Grace to you, good people over the world. 1 Samuel chapter 1 verses 11, and the title on your bread of life, and the title for your bread is God gives what you can give away. God gives only what you can give away. Very important. The NKJV says, this is Hannah was praying for a child. You remember that story? And then she comes to a place and says, then she made a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if you will indeed look on the affliction of your maidservant and remember me, and not forget your maidservant, but will give your maidservant a male child, then I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life, and no razor shall come upon his head. But will give your maidservant a male child, then I will give him to the Lord. In other words, God gives what you can give away. So Hannah was saying, give me Samuel because I can give you back Samuel. Very important. So it's always in the nature of God to give you something that you are willing to give away. The Bible says in 2 Corinthians 9, verses 10, the Message version, this most generous God who gives seed to the farmer that becomes bread for your meals is more than extravagant with you. He gives you something you can then give away, which grows into full-formed lives robust in God. He gives you something you can then give away. That's the title that I derive it from. So in our theme text, God was able to give Hannah a child because she was willing to offer that very child to him for kingdom purposes. Okay, listen. Yes, you are asking God for something, but are you willing to give it away or use it for his glory? The Bible says in James 4:3, you ask and do not receive because you ask amiss that you may spend it on your pleasures. Are you seeing why we don't receive those things that we ask God for? So friends, God can only give you something he knows he can get through you. I'll say it again. God can only give you something he knows he can get through you. He can't give it to you if he can't get it through you for his glory. Am I making sense? And as you keep giving away what he gives you, he increases that which you have so that you may always be available for every good work. That's just the way of God. That's just the way of God. In the mind of God, giving and not getting is the only way to increase. So listen, what's my advice? Simply ask then for something you are willing to give away. Try God and test God in it and keep giving. You realize that you've always been blessed to be a blessing. God bless you, and the best is yet to come. Bye-bye.